one of quite a few eyewitness accounts of Comanche's prowess with the bow and arrow said that from 300 feet, 100 yards, it could hit you with an arrow if you stood still, and you could get out of the way since you could see it coming, but you had to watch for the other 3 or 4 that would be following the first. So that first one, before it landed, or by the time it landed, 3 or 4 more could be coming right after it. So this is what I'm doing today. First off, I have never shot that far before. I'm aiming at the sand mound, and I marked the distance. From there to about here is just over 290 feet. So almost 100 yards. And these arrows, I'm using these to test the distance and figure out just how high up to raise the bow for when I do the dexterity test with these arrows. So let's see just how high up I need to raise the bow so that way they'll reach the sand mound. I can see the metal plate at the base of the sand mound that I used to anchor the tape measure and drag that tape measure all the way out here. So I'm trying to make sure that I've got the bow angled enough so that I can reach it with these 3 arrows. And so once I figure out the angle, I can do the dexterity test with these arrows that have wide-mouthed nocks. So let's see how this turns out. Gonna raise it about 45 degrees. The arrow's just drawn to the chest. Looks like they landed right on the sand mound. So just to double check, I'm gonna go over and retrieve them and see if they actually landed that far. I believe this is the 3rd arrow that I shot. And yeah, that was not a speed test at all. That was just to measure the angle. One of those black and orange arrows I lost. But see, that's the very reason that I got these, because they're cheaper, more expendable. Basically the same arrows that I used to shoot when I was about 16, 17 years old. So now this is for the dexterity test because these are more wide mouth and can fit onto the string easier. Now I should probably get the strap on my arm guard out of the way so that it doesn't get tangled up in the nocks. There. So now, and because these are longer, I can reach right over the string, pull the nock right up, and shoot. And gotta remember that it's about 45 degrees. And see, I'm standing at this direction this time so that I don't end up hitting the house by accident. And no, I would not end up hitting the house. That has not happened in a very, very long time. And the reason that I'm using this bow is because the Comanche bows that Dave Mead made for Lars Anderson for their tests were between 40 and 50 pounds. So for the sake of accuracy, the best way that I can do that and not basically be a cheater for this test is to have a bow that's roughly the same draw weight, if just a few pounds under. Actually, one of the 2 bows that Dave sent was 40 pounds. So, using my 40-pound Mongolian, this'll get those arrows over there. Especially now that I know the angle. So, just gotta adjust the angle since I haven't shot this distance. And so as soon as the arrow here leaves the string, that's when the test begins. Okay, F, major F for this test. One of them landed right near this tree in the front of the yard. One landed maybe 10-20 yards further away. That third one, though, did land closer to the sand mound. There is a gap between these trees here in the leaves. Maybe I'll have to aim for that next. Okay, so it looks like I'll have to raise the angle just a little more. Okay. Well, I can see one of them poking out of the ground closer. But I did see where the third one landed. It looks like, yeah, the second one must have landed as the third one was flying. But that's still something. If you can get 2 arrows into the air and then launch a third one as that second one is coming down, that's still something. So, let me try that again with these 2. I cannot see where either of them landed. But I was shooting in that direction, so it shouldn't be too hard. And with that arc, they'll be poking out of the ground like porcupine quills. So, that's just my rough test for today, based on one of the many eyewitness accounts on Comanche Indians and how deadly they were with their bows, arrows, etc. that I've looked at and have been working on. So, still got some work to do, but hey, that's the fun of it, isn't it? Okay, let's try this again. Can't see where they landed, so I guess we'll have to check. Whoa. One of them's over here. How's that possible? It must have went over the roof or something. Okay, so that's one. I don't know if it was the second arrow or the first, maybe the second. The second arrow and the third arrow. Now, where could they have? Aha! I see them. Another arrow. And here's the last one. What order did they land in? Couldn't tell. But that means from that distance, using, I don't know, 50 degrees angle, 50 something, higher than a 45 degree with a 40-pound bow, at least 2 of the 3 arrows, I don't know, something happened with that one, but these other 2 arrows, they successfully reached the sand mound from way over there. So, at least it's progress.